In my line of work, one of the things that we always talk about is the post-pandemic church. How in the world are we leading now, and what does that look like? In a lot of ways, the pandemic has caused a lot of quick changes in the church that needed to happen, and it forced us to actually keep up with the pace of society. But as we shift away from the dire straits of the pandemic, what do we do now becomes the question. In particular, what do we do now with a downsized group of people and a church that is seeing less participation from disciples under the age of 30? In my denomination, and I'm sure in lots of others, there are a lot of older people that are in the pews or chairs of the congregation. And maybe they are wondering what their contribution is now. I've been there and done that is the popular attitude, but I don't think they realize how much the older generations are needed, particularly as mentors for young folks. When I was growing up, it was the older generation who really kept me involved and alive at church. Dan, David, Ben, Michelle, Katrina, and Jeff, the youth advisors who worked in some way with us. Pastor Dave, who gave so tirelessly to his work with youth. Diane, my second mom, chaperoned a national youth gathering trip. Mrs. Lindsay, my Sunday school teacher forever. And there are others that I'm not even bringing to mind now. They were church for me, and they were mentors, teaching me by spending time with me and offering their skills for what they knew. Margaret Kuhn founded a group called the Gray Panthers, whose advocates confronted ageism, opposed wars, fought for the preservation of safety net programs, protested Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which prohibited openly gay in the military, and still they speak out for the rights of seniors and criminal justice reform. Margaret defined 5 ways that older disciples, or people she calls elders, are changing the world. 1, mentors who guide younger folks. 2, mediators who work to transform civil, racial, and intergenerational conflict. 3, monitors or watchdogs of government and decision makers. 4, mobilizers of social change. And 5, motivators toward public good. Kuhn said that elders have all sorts of skills and knowledge, and I submit that if we got our heads together, there wouldn't be a single problem that could not be solved. How could you be a mentor or elder to someone else? As we move forward into the Easter season, could you be like a second grandparent to someone that you know? This was longer than I intended for it to be, but this is still your moment of peace with me, Pastor Travis Wilson. Lenten blessings as our journey continues into Jerusalem with Jesus this week.